Move the ball and stick it to
What's up, everybody? This is the first podcast I'm doing for the channel. Well, we're doing. And, we decided Christmas games are coming up for the NBA, and we actually wanted to talk about that.
It's a Christmas sweater.
My ugly sweater. See, there's some Christmas trees, a reindeer. Who doesn't like candy? Candy cane? So, it's going to be easy. We're going to run through every single game this Christmas, and we're going to decide who we think is going to win, why it's important, and important aspects of each game. So, I'm Patrick.
Josh. Ralph.
And Chris.
And we're going to start this game off with the first game of that day, which is the 76ers versus the Knicks. And the reason this game is important, in my personal opinion, guys.
Because he's a Knicks fan.
Because I'm a Knicks fan.
He's like, I bleed the Knicks.
I usually have
let's get it.
I have like a Knicks logo here. I have to hide it for y'all.
Yeah,
but they decided to wear Spurs shirts.
So they ain't playing on Christmas.
Yeah, we're boycotting. I wore an NBA themed shirt.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
all right. Give me my Knicks logo. Give me Chris.
Come on, Chris.
So, why this game is important is that this is the fight for the 8th seed, more or less, more like playoffs.
Yeah, because Sixers are like 12th place.
They're in 10th place right now.
Both teams are about 500, but
yeah, but it's
the East.
Yeah,
you could be under 500 and make a playoff.
No, not in the new East though.
It's close right now.
Well, it's because they have like a 4-way tie for like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. And 7.
Yeah.
And then 8th is like
8th is just like the only one else that regards. Everybody else has the same record.
It's pretty bad.
Between the 4th and 8th seeds, it's 15 wins, 16 wins, and then 12, 13 losses. It's a dead heat right now between 4th and 8th.
But if they get into the playoffs in the East, you need to be over 500 because the other teams that aren't in the playoffs, the Heat aren't in the playoffs, and they're the Heat. The 76ers aren't in the playoffs.
That's the only one that really matters.
Yeah, but then you look up here too. They've got more. Everybody's roughly about 2 to 3 games above 500. They look at the West. You got the Jazz in the 8th seed. It's more open than the East.
Yeah, but
that's just because
OKC's
having a bad season, at least for the moment.
And they're still in the 8th seed.
Portland's doing surprisingly well. Utah didn't actually make it right now. But the Clippers aren't even in the play. Whatever. That's a different conversation for another day.
That's another conference.
It's just weird right now. And then my question for y'all is this a future conference finals?
I wouldn't say conference finals. Let's say maybe future. I feel like that's gonna be the future marquee matchup of the playoffs for years to come. You kind of know how there's always that when everybody would get it's gonna be the Heat and the Cavs after LeBron left, they're the Heat are still a surprise team. They beat them in the season, and they're that's gonna be. Those are the dark horse. It's gonna be kind of like that. It's gonna be the East version of maybe Spurs, Rockets, kind of that. Those two pretty good teams, and then just kind of that. You expect them every year to play each other sometime in the playoffs. Yeah. It may not be conference finals, but I would say
it's because
first, second round.
There's still the past LeBron.
Yeah. As long as 40-year-old LeBron.
As long as LeBron's in the league, nobody's.
Well, it's still gonna be the Bucks. And still the Cavs, because it's the Cavs. Unless LeBron leaves, who knows what happens.
I don't know. I think I was sleeping on the Celtics, yeah.
No, I'm not sleeping on them.
I think Philly-Boston, that's going to be a rivalry.
Right now, the rivalry is Boston.
Yeah.
Cleveland, because of all the switching.
But out of the two teams, who do you think is going to fall from grace sooner, the Cavs or the Celtics?
The Cavs, because
as soon as LeBron dips, it's over.
As soon as he dips, he's done. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to keep that pick that might not even be worth anything.
They're through the top first, but Brooklyn's got 10 wins. So
they're Brooklyn, you need to keep losing. Stop winning games.
Chris, it's 11 wins. That's your job.
Come on, dog.
My B.
But if you look at the season of the Knicks so far, most people thought they would be where Brooklyn is.
Yeah.
But they're 15-13 at the point of this video. They're definitely a surprise team in the East, maybe in the whole NBA, but the West has got some.
The Pacers are pretty surprising.
Yeah, they're pretty surprising too. Kristaps Porzingis is playing at God level right now.
Yeah. He's playing you.
I wanted.
Every time Patrick's Kristaps, he's everything.
Yeah, 35 points, 10 rebounds. But the only problem with Kristaps is he's 7'3", and that means he gets injured. He's made of paper.
Yeah.
He just got an MRI on his knee. He had sprained ankle.
He's too athletic for his body.
Somebody 7'3"
It's like somebody who's 7'3" should not be that athletic, and that.
Like every time he goes up for a dunk, like you gotta hold your breath because you don't know.
Yeah, because he's so tall. And it's like, and he's gaining weight, so not only all that pressure is like you're trying to jump high and be athletic, and all that weight's being added onto your like ankles. That keeps being his problem with ankles. So it's like.
But he's been playing good.
Yeah, the Knicks they put together a pretty good team. They had Jarrett Jack. They signed him out of nowhere, non-guaranteed contract. They cut somebody with a guaranteed contract to keep him on the roster. I remember they did that in the beginning of the season. Was it Hernan Gomez or whatever?
No, he's still on the team. It's
I thought it was Hernan Gomez.
It was someone important. It was Mendagas Kuzminkas.
Oh, Kuzminkas, yeah.
Kuzminkas,
I didn't fact check me, Ralph, because
it was Kuzminkas.
It was
definitely
Kuzminkas.
Kuzminkas.
Yeah, it was. Jared Jack's one of the best assisters on the team.
He's passive.
Facilitators.
He's somebody to run the offense.
He's just a smart.
The Knicks haven't had a point guard since Chauncey Billups. Let's be real.
Chauncey?
You want to talk about Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose is not real.
We have Raymond
He's
Felton.
a scoring guard.
And Derrick Rose didn't like to pass at all.
Yeah.
He had like assist or two a game.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. too.
If he comes back in
when
time.
he comes back, hopefully if he comes back to the
But he was balling before.
He was balling. Yeah, he was earning that money.
Because he started off.
That was like a bargain contract from what other people were getting.
Well, he started off bad. And then all of a sudden he kind of like...
He had that one game against Cleveland where he had like, 28 points or something.
But then from the Knicks' perspective, they're like people were saying like, oh, that's a big contract for like what the Knicks have, like for the money that they have and like the cap space and like with all the players that they have, it's like that. It's like you want to risk it on Tim Hardaway Jr.
You can't get worse than Jakeem Noah though.
Yeah, that's
true. Yeah, that's
he's not even playing.
But that's why they're like
you
spend so much money on Joakim Noah. It's like you're gonna spend another big chunk of our money on a Tim Hardaway
Jr. who's not guaranteed to be good. Yeah.
But hey, he's earning good money.
Because he started off rough, but now he's averaging like since like the rough patches, like after the first 10 games, he's averaging like 20, 21 a game. So that's pretty solid. But the Sixers, you have probably rookie of the year Ben Simmons.
Yeah, definitely. And
then Joel Embiid, if he was considered a rookie, he'd also be rookie of the year.
Ben Simmons just needs to get that shot. Once he gets that shot going,
like I was watching them play last night, and they would go so under the pick and roll. Like they wouldn't even touch the pick; they would just go around the pick. Like they wouldn't even.
They're daring him to shoot,
and he doesn't shoot it. Last night against the 76ers versus the Thunder, great game, triple overtime. Russell Westbrook is the point guard, took 15 shots in the 3 overtimes. Ben Simmons took 1.
Yeah.
Like,
wow. Especially if you want to be the thing is that nowadays in the NBA, if you want to be a great point guard, you have to have at least somewhat of a jump shot.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the point guards who were prototypical, like Ricky Rubio, nobody's really talking about him as being the greatest point guard. But if you look at like other point guards like James Harden, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, they're all scorers now. Westbrook, they're all scorers, but they also still dish it now.
Even Rondo, who used to be considered one of the best point guards,
is now
5 years ago.
Because you think about even like with the older, like if you would say like with the Spurs, like with Tony Parker, like later in his career, he started to develop a shot, and now he's like starting to go out into the getting that corner 3.
Parker is one of the first like point guards to be like. Score first point guard, but be successful at it.
Yeah.
Because you had other ones like Gilbert Arenas, but we all know how that happened. But also the question with the Sixers is healthy.
Okay, but like what we were saying before we started this whole thing, started the recording, is the late game situations. Sixers, they've been in a lot of close games. They kept it competitive. Most people
even surprising games.
Yeah, they even surprised like with like the Cavs, they stayed in it with the Cavs. Everyone expected them to get blown out because it's LeBron. It's LeBron, and then but it's really they've had some sparks of showing good, smart like basketball, but then they've had a lot of instances of being just having really bad decision making, and not just
the rookies basically,
but not only on the player side, even like the coaching side. Some of the like just like last night with the triple overtime. They have a chance to get a tying 3, and the play that they ran was really bad. Like it was just bad. It was literally just let's just set two down screens at the top of the key for JJ Redick to get a wing 3, and it's like there's no misdirection. It's like literally like let's hope that he can run his man off the screen. They're just gonna switch, and that's why he ends up getting blocked. Especially because they burned that timeout to draw up that play. So then when it didn't work the first time, they try to do it again, and OKC already knew what they're doing. He gets blocked. Yeah. And it's like,
Spoiler.
Spoiler. But
some guy on like probably like the Europe's like, what the heck? I just woke up. Well, I had it recorded.
But it's more of just like, can they pull out the wins? Because we've seen that the Knicks have been able to, especially with Kristaps winning.
If it's at home, yes. Actually, is it? Can you check? Is it home? Knicks?
Who's at home?
It is.
I'm pretty sure the Knicks are at home.
I think it's usually the Knicks.
Is that
MSG?
It's the Knicks are
It's
home.
Knicks.
Because Kristaps is just like what we were saying earlier. Has been playing out of his mind. He's clutch, right?
Well, what
He's
they
been
do
playing,
is what I noticed, like in the fourth quarter, like last couple minutes, they basically put him in the post, give it to him. If it's a double team, he kicks it to whoever's going to shoot three. Usually Courtney Lee, or he just does a fadeaway like jumper, and no one's like they usually foul him because he's just so tall they can't like get the ball.
yeah, and it's also I think the Sixers is a big thing is also like defense, trying to stop the other team in late game situations. Because I felt like just like going back to last night in the triple overtime, Embiid is standing in the middle of the paint, literally just looking at nothing, and Westbrook just right to Robertson. Yeah. It's like Andre Robertson should not be the one hitting the game winner on you. Like he's like their last. Yeah, exactly. He missed the first time. He got the same exact look because Embiid was doing the same thing. He was just sitting in the paint watching the ball. And
Embiid does. I remember last night too. Westbrook blew by whoever it was that tied the game, and Embiid just blocked that shot straight out of. Twice.
But the thing is that he's paying too much attention on the ball. Yeah. It's like you need to also stick with your man. You can't.
I don't know. Andre Robertson's pretty trash.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's from San Antonio.
Yeah.
Well, but what I'm thinking is, okay, if the Knicks want to win this game, because you don't have Tim Hardaway Jr., you have to run through Porzingis most of the game. Guess who's going to guard him?
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid's going to swat him a lot.
He's going to get in his
head. It's going to be a good, and he's going to get in his head.
That's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah,
but if Joel Embiid figures him out,
I had that.
I'd say Sixers win, but
yeah, I had that as the marquee matchup. Just Embiid, Porzingis.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And then who's going to guard Ben Simmons?
Yeah, the Sixers have a lot of weapons that the Knicks have.
Yeah, but it's New York at home in MSG.
Like, I believe
I'm going Knicks because I'm faithful. I'm faithful. But what do you think, Josh? Who's winning this game?
Like I want to say the Knicks, but I think they're too. I think if Tim Hardaway Jr. was healthy, I would probably say the Knicks. But I think because everything's gonna weigh on Porzingis, not doubting Porzingis because he's really good, but I'm gonna probably say the more complete team will be the Sixers, and I feel like that's gonna carry them over.
So the Sixers?
Yeah, the Sixers.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the Sixers too. One, I think they have better shooting than the Knicks, but even if it is close, I think they have the X factors. More X Factor players in the Knicks. The Knicks have Kristaps, huge X Factor, right? Then who else do you think they have? You're going to say Jarrett Jack?
No one who's like consistent.
There's nobody consistent. You look at the 76ers, if Joel Embiid is not on, they got triple-double machine and Ben Simmons. If he's not on, then they have sharpshooter JJ Redick.
And Robert Covington.
Sharpshooter Robert Covington, even though last night he wasn't very good. But sharpshooter Robert Covington. So I'm definitely probably going to go with the Sixers as well on that one.
Sure. So we're going 2-1 Sixers. Sorry, guys. When y'all lose, I'll remind you.
That's all right. So
the next game is maybe arguably the most important game of the night, and that is Cavs Warriors, the finals rematch, part 4. Is this gonna be the finals?
I don't know because now it's a stacked West. Everyone's geared up to give the Warriors a run for their money now, and you can even see like yes, technically. You can't say, oh, well, it's still early in the season. Warriors haven't been super healthy. They haven't been super complete. Steph Curry's missed some games. KD's missed some games. Mm-hmm. But they're still the Warriors. So it's you kind of want to be like, that's no excuse because you're the Warriors. You have 4 All-Stars on your team.
Like you look in the West, after what the Warriors did, everybody changed their mindset. Now we're going to go get mercenaries from other teams for 1 year.
Yeah, we're going to build super
AKA,
teams.
The Thunder get 2 guys with 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
The Rockets trade for Chris Paul, and we're going to try to go at them at what they do.
We're going to try to beat them at their own game.
The Rockets are trying.
Especially with and it's funny because when we were watching the game last night with the Spurs and Rockets, I was like, remember when everybody was complaining that the Warriors shot too much and they hit so many threes? Now it's like, man, the Rockets are just shooting everyone out of the gym.
The Rockets are averaging like 43 3-point attempts.
Yeah, they were saying like they're like James Harden averages like 9, Eric Gordon around 10, around like almost everyone's double-digit 3-point attempts, and it's
and Ryan Anderson,
Yeah,
he's wet. It's ridiculous.
And that's the thing is they're.
So we're gonna see a 3-point party.
Yeah, and I think with the Cavs and Warriors, I feel like it has a potential. There's always the potential that it's gonna be a rematch because Cavs are always a favorite to be in the finals because LeBron and they have a good team. It's not like they have.
And they're doing all this without Isaiah Thomas.
And that's the thing.
That's 30 points a game.
That's true.
Yeah, if Isaiah Thomas comes back, we'll probably see them in the finals. But it's really the West is kind of now it's up for grabs because there's really the top 3 or 4 teams in the West.
So are you making the argument that this game doesn't even matter because Isaiah Thomas isn't playing?
It's not that it doesn't matter, but I feel like it won't be a true finals.
Curry's probably not going to play either.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's sprained ankle 2 or 3 weeks out. Thomas isn't going to play. So it's going to be KD versus LeBron.
Yeah, that's
still fun though.
It's still going to be a fun game to watch because.
And if you look at LeBron too, he's having statistically the best year of his career, averaging 28, 9, and 8. 58% shooting. He's going out to 41% from 3.
He wants another MVP.
He's really hyping up the little storyline of Kyrie left.
Oh
yeah, but like
he wants to get MVP.
He's become a top all of a sudden.
He's like, not in my league. I'm getting MVP before he gets it.
The knock against LeBron used to be he can't shoot very well. He's shooting 41% from 3. He's fixed his jump shot. It's not broken at all. He went into the gym and fixed it.
Literally 3 years ago, we'd be like, LeBron's not a good 3-point shooter.
All those Instagram workout videos showing he's been putting in the work.
And Kevin Love too. He's definitely stepped up as the number 2 guy now.
Yeah. And another big
took him a little bit.
Another big player for them has been Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder's been good. He's been doing good lately. Well, and then he plays defense. That's the thing.
Like if you look at the last year's finals, they had Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love at the same time. They couldn't guard the Warriors.
And that was a big thing. Another knock on LeBron is they're like he can't guard Kevin Durant. He can't guard. Now you got a younger guy that can throw at Kevin Durant or anybody that he can throw at different positions and try to guard them.
He's a smart defender. I've watched him when he was
because the thing is that that's what you saw with LeBron. He was trying to guard Kevin Durant, who was having a crazy finals in general, and it's like he was already fatigued because LeBron was doing his LeBron thing, carrying the team on offense. It's like. And then you got to go on the other end and guard Kevin Durant. Like, what do you expect? But now you got a person you can throw at Kevin Durant and then kind of save LeBron so that he can come up and towards the end of the game offensively.
Yeah, if you look at LeBron, he's basically him and Dwayne Wade are playing point guard by committee because there's no Jose Calderon's their point guard, but let's be real here, he's not the true point guard.
Yeah, well, you can't play defense, and you can't have that right now against the Warriors, who, well, even if Curry's out. It's not going to matter.
You need to play defense. Yeah. The only people that could maybe get in a scoring battle is the Rockets right now. They're the only ones that could afford to just try to outscore the Warriors.
But I still think the only people who could beat the Warriors are the Warriors themselves.
Yeah.
If you look this year, KD's gotten ejected like 3 times. Draymond Green's gotten ejected. Curry's gotten ejected.
They're getting to.
They keep getting ejected.
they're letting their emotions get too invested into the game. It's like they need to just remember that it's at the end of the day, it's like we just come in and win games. They're gonna be kind of in a way the underdogs because they're such a strong team. They're that like powerhouse team. Teams are gonna be coming at them with everything. They're gonna try to get in their head. They're gonna try to play scrappy. They're gonna get up in them, and it's like they're really gonna get in their face, and they can't. They gotta stay composed. They gotta just be. It's like y'all are all stars. You gotta act like all-star caliber players and not let teams get under your skin because that's the way you're going to get beat.
And it doesn't help that the coach, Steve Kerr, literally is the same thing. He's the
hype guy.
Yeah, and he doesn't calm him down.
Yeah,
and that's the reason.
You kind of copy what you see. Yeah. You see your coach yell at refs.
Yeah.
And then so KD's like, I can do that. Or I can do. I'll throw my mouthpiece at the ref. Like,
okay, but I'll counter that. The Spurs with Greg Popovich, he yells at the refs like crazy. His players do not.
But one of the things he does is because if a player starts to get into the face of or start to go towards a ref, he always stops them and he's like, I'll get ejected and you stay in the game.
I've seen multiple times Draymond Green's yelling at the ref and Steve Kerr's just looking at him. Like he's just there arguing with the ref with him. He's not getting in between him.
So he's not like
because at the end of the game is like at the end of the day it's like the coach. That's why they have so many assistant coaches. It's like all the assistants know the game plan, know what they're supposed to be doing, And so you should be able to, as a head coach, you should be able to put the trust in, like, if I get ejected or if something happens, the game's still going to go as we plan because I have my team behind me that's going to direct the players. So that's why that's why Pop gets in front of it and it's like, no, I'll argue with the ref. I'll get in the ref's face and you stay in because you're going to be playing the game. We need you to play in the game. Like, you're no use to us in the locker room.
Which player do y'all believe leads the league in all ejections this season?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. It's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant.
He has 3.
Yeah,
and only 3 in like a game in like a week.
Oh, yeah, and then DeMarcus Cousins has 2, and then everyone else is at 1. So
really, Draymond only has 1,
but he's a lot of text.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because you text.
Draymond Green, I think leads.
LeBron has an ejection. Carmelo has an ejection. Sean Livingston has 1. Kyle Lowry, DJ Tucky, Stephen Curry, Markieff Morris, Draymond Green. Yeah, like see here, it's already 3 Warriors.
Dirk's been ejected.
I guess Dirk got... No, Dirk has not been ejected.
Oh,
yeah.
What did he do?
Nikola Jokic.
So we have to figure out who's gonna win this game, guys. I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna straight up say the Warriors. It's gonna be close though.
It's gonna be a close game. Wait, who's the home team? Is that Oracle?
It's
Oracle.
Is that Oracle?
Then plus Warriors.
I don't know. I'm gonna say the Cavs. I'll say the Cavs.
It'll be devil's advocate.
Not only devil's advocate, but I think LeBron always has like extra motivation when it comes to Christmas games.
Well, even important games.
Every important game or every like big game, he's always shown up, and I feel like now that he had. And the other thing is that the Cavs have been playing really good whereas the Warriors, they've been playing all right. They're missing some pieces because of injuries, but they've even said they started off way slower than they wanted to, like especially with all the ejections. So like our head's not in the game, we're not focused, we're not locked in. It's like I feel like that's gonna play. Whereas the Cavs right now, they've been pretty locked in. They've been playing good together. Their role players have been stepping up, and I think the team effort will put them over. Plus LeBron.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take the Warriors by like 25 points. Like,
you do?
Oh my gosh!
Why?
Whenever you can see like trap games or team games you look at and you think they'll be good, then you look at games where it's Warriors. Cavs. It's supposed to be a good game, which those usually don't turn out, and it's in Oakland, and every time Cleveland plays in Oakland, they get blown out. They get bodied because it's gonna be it's gonna be a 3-point barrage by Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. It's going to be Draymond Green just picking the defense apart. They're going to be posting up Shot Livingston. Jose Calderon can't guard Shot Livingston. That's true. So it might be close through 3 quarters, and then the Warriors are just going to get hot.
Shoot the way,
and it's going to be a 25-point lead. They're going to call a timeout, and then I can vision it in my head right now what's going to happen.
Nick Young got 30 points easily.
So he's going to hit a couple threes. He's going to be
dancing. Yeah.
It's going to be Warriors by a lot.
So you're saying blowout Warriors, close Cleveland. I'm going to say close Warriors. I think it's going to be a close game just because it's an important game. Like you said, LeBron likes his important games. We're going to go with the next game, and that is Celtics Wizards. My question for y'all is a rivalry still alive?
It's 2 different teams than what they thought there was going to be when they scheduled this Christmas game. Because last year, Game 7 versus Celtics Wizards, Kelly Oubre tried to fight.
Kelly Oubre.
Who was it?
It was Kelly Oubre and Kelly Olynyk.
They tried to fight. Olynyk's no longer on there. Isaiah Thomas did the whole 50-point fourth quarter time game. He's no longer on there. It's 2 different. The Wizards are the same. The Celtics are a different team.
Yeah, it's a whole different Celtics.
The only people that I think are left are Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown.
Well, Marcus Smart,
Terry Rozier.
But those are the only guys who got minutes and did stuff. Isaiah Thomas was there. Avery Bradley, who was in John Wall's grill that whole series, is not there anymore. So, I mean, Kyrie and John Wall is still.
It's going to be a fun matchup. It'll be fun. Two quick young point guards.
Like if you look at the Celtics so far this season, like they're definitely. I remember I said the Knicks was a surprise, but early in the season when the Celtics was 19-3, that was definitely the biggest surprise after Gordon Hayward broke his ankle.
That was so sad.
Nobody thought they were going to be the top seed. Yeah, they have the best defense in the league.
I think that's part of the biggest part of the surprise is that they're leading the league in defense. Like they have the best.
They've got width and length. Jaylen Brown's the 2 guard.
He's
like
awesome,
6'7". Like
they could go big.
Super athletic. Yeah,
They can go big, but they don't give up the speed and athleticism.
The biggest surprise is Kyrie being a leading defender.
And
that was so weird.
Kyrie is really backing up his whole leaving. And
he needed to be the guy.
He wanted to be the guy, the man. He's backing it up. He's carrying that team, and
he's being a leader. Like, have you seen it? Like when you'll talk to like either Terry Rozier, or like, hey, like we're okay.
Yeah, he's being a good role model. Even though he's a young player, he's for like Jason Tatum. He's like really using his time with Cleveland and under LeBron, to help the Celtics.
It also helps that he plays. No shout out to Tyronn Lue, but he plays under one of the best coaches in the NBA. Dude, Brad Stevens. Like good. Up there with Popovich. That dude.
He's gonna be the.
He will be the future.
He's gonna be the future Pop.
Yeah. That dude is ridiculous.
And I think, they're just the Celtics are just playing on a whole nother level right now.
They've been struggling in the past couple of games. Manu to school,
but they were still in it. That's the thing is that Kyrie, he should have made that shot. He should have made that.
If the Earth was round, that shot.
If the Earth was flat, it would have been in.
Mm-hmm. It's okay though. I mean, I'm so excited about the game. However, I'm actually gonna go with Celtics blowout because this is why.
Okay, but
John Wall's coming back.
How big of a blowout though? When you say blowout, what do you think a blowout is?
About 15 to 20. And the reason I say that is because John Wall's coming back.
He's been back. He's a couple games already.
A couple games?
Yeah.
I'm still going to, because Celtics are good this year.
I think the Wizards are missing. I know Otto Porter has stepped up as that third guy with a $100 million contract, but they're still missing that one. I don't know if it's a big guy or another wing player.
They're looking for Oubre to.
Yeah,
with the Supreme.
He's been solid, but I think
they're missing that third piece. I think that puts them over the edge. I think a lot of teams in the league are missing that third player
that can.
Like if you look at the Raptors, they got 2 guys. They're missing that third guy.
That third guy to really push them
to the next level.
Yeah.
So, but if I were to pick between the Celtics and the Wizards, I would probably go with the Celtics. But I think it'd be a close game. John Wall is going to go. He's going to try to prove something on. I think it's the first time the Wizards are playing on Christmas Day in a long time.
And it's funny that you bring up that Kyrie's the defensive leader on that team. It's like John Wall is a great defensive point guard as well. It's like to see them both play defense on each other and see kind of and they're both quick, can handle the ball. It's like it's going to be fun to watch them try to stop each other.
And it's true. John Wall is one of the best defenders, plus Kyrie. Two of the best handles in the league.
Yeah.
Plus, they're also one of the best defenders.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see who comes out on top. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to agree. I'd say the Celtics.
So we're having Celtics close.
Celtics close because they're the more complete team right now.
Yeah.
And they're closer to each other in terms of points per game. The Celtics rank 19th in the league in scoring offense. To say it'll be a blowout, I doubt it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a grinded out game.
Kyrie always plays good on Christmas, though.
Yeah.
I expect John Wall gang signs though. Fully expect it. The next game is Rockets versus Thunder, and the question for y'all is who had the better offseason?
Well, as of late, it's the Rockets.
Yeah,
because they're leading the league in record. They have the best record in the league. And they're playing out of their mind.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the thing with that is that the Thunder picked up Carmelo, which is
he's like that's
half and half panning out, and then Paul George, who's surprisingly doing really bad for some reason. Well, bad to what we know him to be.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say they've had a bad offseason. It's just they haven't figured out how to play with each other.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the Thunder, I've definitely called them like the disappointment of the NBA so far. Like any other team you look at, they're definitely the one that's not achieving. They've won a couple games in a row, but they're not achieving what they are. And I put blame on the players, but also the coach.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan was a college coach, and if you look at the sets he runs, a lot of them look like college plays. Like in late game situations, that's why they've been so bad. Against the 76ers last night, in the last 5 minutes, they didn't score at all. They blew an 11-point lead and got them tied the game. You have Westbrook, Carmelo, and Paul George. Steven Adams
having
the best season of his career, and you keep losing games close. That's all on the coach. Like he's just I was watching the games like, all right, we're gonna run 20 seconds off the shot clock and then have Russell Westbrook pull up for 3. Run some action, ball movement, get Carmelo on the low block. Yeah. Instead of back pick misdirections.
Get some down screen.
He's running college plays in the pros, and that's not going to work against good teams.
Genuinely, if you were to fire Billy Donovan and put in Tyronn Lue, I feel like they still do better.
I think one of the big things, I know you're not going to like this because you're a Knicks guy.
Well, I might agree with you because
I think one of the keys is to have Melo come off the bench.
Yeah,
and I know he doesn't want to, but I think that's going to be the key to them getting to play better, because I think also that's a big weakness is their second unit is because they're so top heavy in the starting lineup because they have these 3 big all-star players, and then you get to the bench and it kind of just fades away, and it's like to have a go-to scorer and like a leader of that second unit, that would probably make them play a lot better. Cause
I saw this stat with Carmelo on the floor with Westbrook and Paul George, he's shooting 40%. When it's him and one person, it's 43%. And when it's him by himself with no Paul George and Melo, he's shooting about 48%. So
that's 4 whole percent up here. That's important
because there's so many stars, especially because it's not only that they're stars; they're like big. They were all like the number 1 guy on their team. It's like you got 2, 3 leaders all on one team, and it's just, and they're all more of like shot creators for themselves. They're not really catch and shoot players. Like Melo plays really good on the ISO. He's not a great catch and shoot player because it's like he can be, but in the sets that they're running, it's just
they're trying to get Olympic Melo back.
Yeah,
that's the reason they saw him. We saw him in the Olympics. He was the best player on that team. He was playing well, surrounded by talent, unselfish, hitting threes, catch and shoot, making the best plays. But now he's reverted back to
NBA.
NBA Knicks Melo.
So, like, give me the
ISO, jab step. Let me
15 seconds off. Like in the last game, I keep bringing the last game. They gave him the ball, and for about 7 seconds, he was getting double teamed, and he was fumbling it. Instead of swinging it out, he waited, and he had to swing it all the way across court, and Paul George had to shoot a 3 with the time running down.
The problem with the Thunder is that their most successful time, I think, was when it was Russell Westbrook and KD together, and then it was like that was like their prime. Honestly.
Well, yeah, because they should have been to the finals.
Yeah, so if you just remove KD with Paul George, you have that kind of same thing. I mean, Paul George doesn't KD, obviously, but he can still shoot threes and he's athletic enough to be something close to that. You put Melo on the bench and you have a great bench already, alone. Yeah, Andrew Robinson's one of the best defenders in the league, so you have somebody guarding whatever you need.
But yeah,
it's hard to play basketball 4-on-5, though. The dude can't shoot.
Yeah,
people leaving him open, leaving him by
daring
himself.
Him to shoot, just like
what we're saying is y'all need to fire Andrew Robinson.
No, like I said, I think if they move Melo to the bench,
it's the best
to open it, because then they're going to open up the offense for the starters too.
And all he can worry about is getting buckets.
Yeah, that's all he has to worry about. It's just when I come into the game with the second unit, it's Melo time. Like there's no like, oh well, Russ brings up the ball. And then
I gotta get PG.
Well,
involved.
that is true.
We gotta get PG involved. Like,
yeah.
And the thing is that because people will try to like say, "Oh, Westbrook he's not a true point." But the thing is that the guy averaged a triple double for a reason. You gotta get assists to get a triple double.
Because people are like, "Oh, he's
a ball hog."
He's ball hog, but he's like getting 11 assists, 10 assists. Stat padding, but I was like, it doesn't matter. He's still getting.
He's still passing the ball. He can distribute the ball because he brings so much attention on the offensive end. And it's like with Melo, it's not. It's just crowding up the floor. It's just crowding up everything. You got to be able to spread the floor out. And that's what you can say, oh, well, the Warriors have all these all-stars and stuff. But the thing is that they all are great shooters.
In a system.
And in a system where ball movement and catch and shoot is a big part of it. And it's like, that's why they're so successful.
If you put the Thunder players in the system, the Thunder players in the Warrior system, they would be almost as good as the Warriors are with ball movement, pure unselfishness. But you have a ball dominant point guard in Westbrook, a ball dominant post player in Melo, and Paul George is kind of in between. He can do both, but
he's like a slasher.
It's weird that he's struggling. It doesn't make sense.
And if you look at the other side, the Rockets, I think James Harden finally gets the MVP.
It's close, but I do think right now
him and LeBron, but I think it's James Harden because he's got the better record.
Right now he's got a better record in a stronger conference.
And I don't remember the last time any team. I think it's like the first time in a long time that any team has had two guys average like 9.5 assists on the same team.
And you can't even blame his success on like adding Chris Paul because for almost the whole season so far he didn't have Chris Paul.
They're 12-0 with Chris Paul.
Right now. Right now they're 12-0 with Chris Paul.
And the thing is that they're not only winning games; they're blowing teams out. Like it's not even a close game.
It's a 3-point barrage.
Yeah,
you can't keep up with it.
But would you think it'd be a blow up on Christmas against the Thunder?
I think it'll be close. Definitely, Westbrook's got that motor. He's not going to let Chris.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's going to harass Chris Paul so much.
And I think the Thunder defensively can match up with him pretty well.
Yeah.
Adams is a big guy, but he can move his feet pretty well. They get Capella. Melo's going to be guarding Anderson. You got Paul George. Probably put him on Harden.
Yeah.
And you can put Robertson on Harden.
Robertson.
And then Westbrook's going to take CP. So
you're going to be able to,
Paul George can get
Eric Gordon or Trevor Ariza?
It's Trevor Ariza.
It's Trevor Ariza. Yeah.
Well, Trevor Ariza is a catch-and-shoot guy. Ryan Anderson's a catch-and-shoot guy. So you can hide Melo on one of those guys.
And the thing is that's the one thing good about Melo is that he's big, but you can put him out on the perimeter.
He can play forward.
So he can run around with Ryan Anderson and run him off the 3-point line.
So I'd even say right now for the Thunder, the key is Melo. What do you do with him? And if you put him on the bench, they could be a completely different team right now.
And I feel like that's the thing is, they're all good players, but I feel like you need to put your ego to the side. And I think that's why the Warriors work so well is because they're all all-star. They could all be the number one guy on their team.
It's like when Iggy went on the bench.
But, yeah, and Iggy goes on the bench, or they're like, they won't mind changing up the system if they're going to get wins. And that's the thing. If Melo or anybody were to, like, just put their ego aside and be like, this is the team, like, this is what the system needs to happen, then...
Like, look what D-Wade did. He just said, we need you to go to the bench. No problem, I'll go to the bench.
Yeah, he asked
one of the best 6 men in the NBA.
Yeah, Wade was like, I need to go to the bench. Like, we're going to be better. I'll be better on the bench. Like, and that's what you need. You need your stars to be able to be like, this is going to work for the team. Let's do this. Like,
you remember when Melo, the first press conference, they asked him, are you going to come off the bench? And he just laughed at him. Says, is that even a question? He's like, nah, man.
He's like, hey, they want me on the bench. And he was laughing about it. But, I mean, if it works for the team...
And
he wants them to be a winner. So, if you know going on the bench will make you a winner, why
I don't know if Donovan's got the moxie to tell Carmelo.
And that's the thing. You need a strong
coach
to be able to do that. And,
call Phil Jackson.
And because it's like... Because even with the Spurs, it's like even earlier in his career, Manu, who's gonna go down as first ballot Hall of Famer, but probably arguably with Dirk, best European players.
And name another 2 guard you take above him other than Kobe and Jordan.
Like
Kobe, Jordan, and then it's like who you gonna take over Manu is that number 3 guy. It's kind of hard, like talking about energy and then
longevity and
that's the whole longevity. Because I mean, if you're talking about prime, I mean. Tracy McGrady.
Well, yeah, but it's like if you want to say
career-wise,
yeah.
This is the fire that he had.
It's got that Jordan mode.
And Kobe's even said he's like one of the most competitive players that I've ever played against is Manu Ginobili. Like that guy goes 100% every game, no matter what. Either they're down 30, up 30, he's always out.
He could be what James Harden is now if he had his own team. Yeah. But he decided to be unselfish, to go to the bench and get 4 rings.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go to the bench, run that second unit like Melo should. He should take that. He shouldn't take it as a demotion. He should take it as like, they're going to trust me to run this second unit and make our team even stronger. And I think if he were to get past that and if Billy Donovan were to be like, I need you to be on the bench and run that, like, and give it to him and pitch it to him as not like, oh, you're getting benched.
We need you to shoot.
We need you to be that scoring output for our second unit, because once we put our starters on the bench, our offense is kind of stagnant and we don't really get.
Who's on the bench? It's like
Jeremy Grant.
You got Raymond Felton, Jeremy Grant. Who's that?
Patrick Patterson?
No.
Patrick Patterson is on
the 76ers. See, I don't even know who's on the Thunder's bench.
No, what's his name?
Who's on
he
the
played for the
bench,
Raptors and now he went to the OKC. What was his name? It's Patrick something.
Who's on the bench, bro? For which
one? OKC.
For OKC.
OKC bench. Holy wait.
Wow, wait. Loading?
It's showing
all I know is
bench.
It's showing me pictures of benches. Because the Thunder need to buy a lot of those.
Is pretty good.
Alex Burns.
It's this guy. Patrick Patterson.
Oh, Patrick Patterson. Yeah. To go back to the stat about Russell Westbrook, whether or not he's stat padding his assists, out of players in the league who have more than 50 plus pass attempts, Chris Paul, James Harden, and John Wall are the only players that lead with a higher pass to assist percentage than Russell Westbrook. So he's one of the top 5 players in terms of creating
for his
passes. Actually,
yeah. He's making meaningful passes.
Meaningful passes, exactly.
So adding all this together, what is going to be the turnout for this game? Or the result? Sorry, I'm going to say Rockets for a couple reasons. They're shooting out of their minds. One of the best teams in the NBA. James Harden's probably going to be MVP. Chris Paul's blowing out of his mind. And
the defense.
They're playing surprising defense. Against the Spurs last night, I was actually pretty impressed with the defense they were playing.
I think,
It's going to be the Rockets also because going back to what we're saying, the bench is once they put the bench, the thing is that the Rockets can put out, even if they don't have the starters, they can still leave in Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza, and they'll still have a 3-point barrage that'll blow out the bench, and then it'll be too much for the starters to come back because then once the starters come in, they bring in James Harden and Chris Paul, and then they're just adding on to it, and they're never really going to catch up.
It's ridiculous. Last season, the Rockets obviously led the league in 3-point attempts with almost 40. And this season, they're averaging 44 attempts per game. And in the last 3 games, they're up to 47 attempts per game. They're just shooting lights out.
Just shooting and shooting and shooting.
So I'm probably going to pick the Rockets as well, and it's probably going to be by a lot too. Just because the threes, they're
going to catch fire. It's going to be close, and then they're going to catch fire at the end, and then it's just going to be too much.
The problem with the Rockets last year, reason why they fizzled out in the playoffs against the Spurs, is James Harden was their whole offense. You take him out, you put him right back in, he's got no breaks. Now you take out one Hall of Fame point guard, or future Hall of Fame, I think, James Harden, and then you got the point god of Chris Paul running the show, who when I saw his net efficiency rating was a +30 without James Harden. And then you take out Chris Paul, and then you put James Harden.
Yeah, you can keep.
You've got one point guard on the floor.
Keep punching him in the face.
It's ridiculous. And then at the end, you got them both in. So you're not gonna know what to do. But I definitely take the Rockets.
They just have too many options.
Yeah.
Guys, last game.
Final game.
Most
exciting game.
Least exciting game.
LeVar Ball is going to be there. And
he's going to be.
That's the only reason.
He's going to come in a Christmas suit. Be Santa Claus.
We're talking about the Timberwolves, Lakers. The question's simple because this game is kind of for all of us. The question for the game, guys. Will Lonzo have a good game? That's all people care about.
Okay. The thing with Lonzo is especially because right now everyone's he can't shoot. And it's he can have a good game. Everyone's oh, he had a triple-double, which is still impressive, but then it's 10 points?
It's 10, 10, and
10. 10, and 10.
15.
It's a Ricky Rubio triple-double.
Yeah, it's not a big triple-double.
It's not a James Harden 35.
Or what was Russell Westbrook last night? It was 37,
15
and 18.
Yeah.
That's a triple-double right there.
That's a man's triple-double.
That's a man's triple-double.
I'd rather Lonzo get 25 and 5 than 10, 10, and 10. I think they would do better with 20 points from him.
I believe, scoring wise, it's he's 18. No one has 20 points a game. Everyone has 18, 16, 15, 15.
Kyle Kuzma's the leading scorer.
With 16 or something. Oh,
yeah. He's by far the steal of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
They got him late first round, 28th pick or something like that.
I know. I was telling Patrick, I heard Mark Jackson say the other day on one of the games, the Lakers games, he was saying that Kyle Kuzma has no holes in his game. That he's the most complete rookie.
I would just say defense just because he's a rookie. But over time, that can be.
But over time, he can. Yeah. But he kind of has a point. He can get to the basket. He can shoot.
He's posting up.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma's leading the Lakers team right now with points per game at 16.3. That's the highest, and it's 16.2 by Brandon Ingram, 14.9 by Jordan Clarkson, 14.2 by Contavious Cadwell-Pope, and
KCP.
Contavious,
okay,
my baby.
Speaking of
and then 13 by Brook Lopez, and then 12.4 by Julius Randle. No one else has above 10. Alonzo isn't even averaging more than 10 points. He has 9.1 points per game.
Because he's a passer. That's the thing.
That's
his
game.
He's
leading a team with 7.2 assists a game.
It's because everyone sees the Ball family and they see LaMelo dropping 100 points or 99 points. It's they think that Lonzo's supposed to be the big scorer, and he's not. He's a passer. He's a pass boy.
That's what I remember when I said in the beginning where the pass first point guards are not as successful as they used to be. People want him to be like Kyrie, like Westbrook, like
Steph Curry,
like Magic.
Especially because his dad was like, "Oh, he's better than Steph Curry." It's like, okay,
but people need to compare him more to Ricky Rubio, Jason Kidd, more pass first kind of guys who'll get you 10 assists, but only get you like 14. Steve Nash too, early in his career. That's what I was trying to see. Like Steve Nash could have averaged more points if he wanted to, but Lonzo Ball could. What's it called? Copy his game off of Steve Nash's game pretty well, except for the shooting's not as well. But if he looked at what he did, pick and roll, and he attacks off that.
Well, even shooting, it's like that's something for the future.
And another thing with KCP, he's been taking a lot of his shots have been really bad shots. Like he just kind of runs down the baseline and then will get a wing and then just take like a fadeaway falling 3-pointer, like especially in late game situations. That's another thing is like they need to get better. And I don't know. I think I would expect more because especially from Luke Walton, who was under Steve Kerr, who was under Pop, who knows the late game, like drop a play, get a good play going, get a good shot. I expect them to get better shots than they've been getting, especially when they're in close games.
Guess who's leading the Lakers team with the most rebounds per game right now?
Larry Nance Jr.
Yes. Yeah, he has 7.1.
And then
it's weird.
Lonzo's like right behind them too.
But they're all really young, and that's a good sign. But it's like,
and it's funny because Kyle Kuzma, and it's not a knock on Kyle Kuzma, but the person I would think that would lead the Lakers, or I think is Brandon Ingram.
It should be. Well, he should. Magical's like I expect 20 from him.
Yeah, especially the way he's been kind of taking that role of like I'm going to take over.
He had a couple good games.
He had a couple of good games where
he was a game winner too.
Yeah, he had a game winner and he was taking over the game. I think I want to see more aggressiveness from him because
the obvious comparison between him is Kevin Durant. They're
he's
very
got the
similar
same frame,
7-foot wingspan, and
can shoot, can
very
dribble.
Skinny though, but yeah. I think also the Lakers need to prove if they want to, like everybody's talking, they're gonna get LeBron, they're gonna get PG, or get championships. They gotta prove they can win without them. Like LeBron's not gonna go to a team who is 30 and.
Do you think they should, depending on this game, right? Because I mean, they're still kind of trying to fight for playoffs, but they're not going to make it realistically. Do you think they should be constantly trying to fight for that playoff spot, or just start tanking?
I don't think they need a tank. I think because they have good pieces. It's really now they're past the tanking point where they don't need any more
pieces,
any more young draft
picks. They just need their draft
picks. They just need to develop their young talent now. Now it's just like, okay, we got our young core of Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, like Randall. We got a good core young team. Now let's try to build around it and try to develop them to get to that level of being a strong West team.
So for the predictions. We have to pick Timberwolves or Lakers. Who's going to win this last game, guys? I'm going to give my quickie prediction, and I'm going to go Timberwolves. Just because they have everything. That
they're more complete. Need. They're more developed.
Straight up.
I'm going to go with the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Upset.
All right. Enlighten me why.
Like every time you see the Lakers play a hyped up game, they've actually played up to
They've shown up.
When
I agree with that.
They play the 76ers, and normally it's not big, but it's a big game when they play the 76ers in Philadelphia, and Brandon Ingram hit the buzzer beater 3. They played LeBron in Cleveland, and they kept up with them pretty well. It took Kevin Love and LeBron like a pretty good effort to beat them.
Yeah.
They played up to their competition, but all the problem they don't beat the very bad teams. Yeah. So that's why the record shows as it is. But I think on Christmas Day, Lonzo Ball is going to show up, have a signature, not a signature, but a game that will get people talking. Yeah, Brandon Ingram is going to 20-something plus points. And I think just overall they have the talent is as great as the Timberwolves, but they've got more player depth coming off the bench.
And more fire. I think they're really
they're hungry. If you look at the Lakers the last couple of years, even though they're about the same record as they were last year, you can see that they're building towards something now. They have they have an identity, they have a purpose.
Yeah, they're
trying to go out there and
they have the team now. It's like we work towards our goal of making the playoffs and then contending for a championship.
Last year we watched them play. It was just like going through the motions. They weren't really trying. Once they get down, they stop fighting.
Yeah, now once they get down, they're like once we get Lonzo, fighting. Then we're gonna start.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I think the Lakers will be the upset of Christmas Day and spoil the Christmas presents.
That's interesting. Upset of Christmas Day. I don't have one. I think I will.
I expect you want to pick let's pick an upset of the whole of all the
like
games.
a maybe upset.
Like a maybe upset. It may go against our predictions, but just
well, it's kind of hard actually.
I would think my upset would be the Thunder.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Thunder
say. I think if there's gonna be a big upset,
someone has a big game off the Thunder. Westbrook
it's gonna
goes
be
crazy. But like the problem is when Westbrook goes crazy, it depends how efficient he did it.
Yeah.
If he did it on 40 shots, he's
it's
still
not
hard
gonna work
to
every
lose.
game.
But if like he goes crazy for like 30, 15, and 15 on like 12 or 15 shots, which is probably not gonna happen, but he does it, then they're gonna win. Going away, they'll win. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
But he's not the most efficient. Like I saw. He said last night in the interview, I don't care about the stats as long as we get a W. I'm like, the percentages are kind of important.
Disagree with you.
Yeah. If you're shooting 25%, 10 for 33 and you win, congratulations, but you shot 10 for 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my upset.
Yeah. Because the Thunder could do it. They have the talent to do it.
They have
That's
the
the
pieces. It's just, can they put them together?
They got the chess pieces, but the chess player is Billy Donovan.
Oh.
And he playing checkers.
And he's drunk.
Go home, Billy. You're drunk.
Alright, guys, that's the end of this first ever podcast. It was fun. Finally, a new experience for all.
Excited for Christmas.
I'm actually. These games are gonna be fun. I definitely think funnest game.
Even I'm sad the Spurs don't have one.
It's dumb that they don't. It's really weird.
And
because they've had one.
But I'm always excited for Christmas basketball.
Yeah. So it's great. It's a great time. What about you, Ralph? What's your favorite game?
My favorite game? Let's see which one. Alright, so I really want to see the Knicks Philly game because trust the process. And
because trust the process.
Trust the process.
Hopefully we'll get a Embiid.
Yeah,
or waving goodbye to Porzingis who fouls out.
That's gonna annoy me.
But I think the Celtics Wizards rivalry is going to be renewed. I know it's a brand new team, basically what the Celtics have, but there's still that.
Yeah, because there's still history betwing the team, the funeral games, all the funeral games. That was
so funny when
I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of beef in that. So I'm excited to see both those games.
Yeah. All right, we want to know if y'all like this podcast. If y'all have any suggestions for something that we can do, leave it in the comments below. And if you like this, give this channel a sub. See you guys next time.
Move the ball and stick it to